and it's gonna be fun. All right. Hopefully it's not a boring one. I think the last time these two teams played, and it was at Arizona, I think the score was like 16-6, something like that. So that's not exactly going to be. We want to have a more exciting game than that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the last time I remember them playing Thursday night was that DK Metcalf chasing down Buda Baker.
Oh, that was
like
ages ago. Yeah.
That feels like ages ago, but like that was the last one that I remember on
Right.
Thursday night.
Well, we appreciate y'all for being here with us. Do us a favor, hit that like button. In fact, you can enter today's giveaway. All you have to do is like the stream and type TNF into the chat, as in Thursday Night Football TNF. Now, what I want to ask the chat to do, because we're going to answer a lot of questions for you guys today, a lot of questions. But if anybody out there wants to help, someone out in some specific fantasy football league, I've utilized our community in a way that I may have never used it before, because I've never been this desperate to ask for your help. I'm in the Flock League right now, and yes, I just put up a poll on our YouTube channel. I used our YouTube channel to try and figure out my start sit this week. And I said, hey, which of these flex options are going to score the most points? You got to choose one of Woody Marks, Charbonnet, Coleman, or Krosky Merritt. And Krosky Merritt ain't practicing right now. Charbonnet is playing tonight, even though he's coming off a short week. Is he the best option? So you can find that if you go to the post tab. I want to hear your thoughts, all right? I want you to sell me. Right now, it's 33% Keon Coleman. And
I guess the real question is, what's your gut feeling? How are you feeling?
My gut feeling is I'm going to get this wrong. My gut feeling is I'm going to get this wrong.
I mean,
here's the thing.
I think the chat's going to get it right.
No, I agree, but I want to hear people's opinions. I want their honest opinions. Honestly, if I start Zach Charbonnet, I feel as if my gut feeling is telling me I will be sad for the entire weekend. Here's the thing. If Charbonnet was playing on Sunday, I'd probably just start Charbonnet, right? But I have to factor in with the fact that my mental health is in the balance as well. There's a chance that I'm sad. Now, if I start Keon Coleman or Krosky Merritt, will I be sad on Sunday? Probably. But the sadness will all be there at one time. Does that make sense? So I want to hear your thoughts there. But guys, we appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for showing some love. Again, if you want to enter tonight's giveaway, all you have to do is type TNF and like the stream. That's as simple as it gets. And we'll do that giveaway at the end of the stream. No matter how many likes we get, we'll go ahead and we'll do 2 start sits and 2 trade question vouchers right before Thursday Night Football. So hang out with us here. Again, like the stream, type TNF, and you'll be entered. All right, let's jump into some questions here. You can prioritize your question with the link in the chat. And of course, if you are not a season pass member yet, as you guys know, $34 one-time purchase. You get access to the entire Flock Fantasy site, my rankings, rest of season rankings, premium tools like the trade calculator, rest of season rankings, all those kind of things. So, as well as some vouchers to come on the live stream and ask us questions. So make sure you use the code LAND, and we'll be answering your questions. Matt Bear here with the start sit. Let's start here.
Have you seen the new update? You can see how many we have in total.
I did see that. Yeah, pretty cool.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, Matt, he says, couldn't trade away RJ for anything, so I dropped him for Benson. Yeah, wow. Should I have dropped Ricky instead? I mean, 1 quarterback, 10 team start, 7. I guess that's fine.
You can't keep RJ if Benson's out there, but
yeah, you just can't.
That sucks.
Which that's why I was like, it's fine. You're in a smaller league. That was the first thing I did to see what type of league you're in.
Yeah, not ideal, but it's understandable why you felt like you had to do that. Caleb Williams for me, I love his matchup over Daniel Jones. Tonight, we have to make a call here for names that should be started, I would argue, but we have to make difficult decisions. What do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is going to be Jordan Mason, and then the RB2 is technically Javonte Williams. I think that flex option is probably going to help us. At that wide receiver position is going to be Emeka and Buka for me.
So you went Javonte, which I agree with, and you went
Jordan
Mason, which I agree with.
I would still start Mason and Javonte over
Yeah, I'm
Benson.
fine with that.
At the wide receiver position is going to be Amika and Buka over Ricky and
Mm-hmm.
Chase, which would probably utilize one of those guys.
Wow, the flex is crazy, man. I still think you're starting Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. I think you start Jamar Chase, and that feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a good lineup, Matt.
All right, just an update on my question. I want to see how many votes we have now over there. The votes have gone to 369, and 34% of people are saying Keon Coleman, which is what I currently have in my lineup. Okay, we'll figure it out. Obtainable here, start sit. He's got Josh Allen in there at RB2. We're gonna go Ashton Genty at wide
agreed.
receiver. Adunze Egbuka Sutton. Wow, all these guys have to be started, but my top ranked name is Adunze.
Yeah, it's going to be Rome for me as well. I just didn't know where that was for you. We're most likely going to put Amika in the flex anyway.
Yes, Amika and
alongside, I think it was double check.
Wow.
It's either Tet or Sutton.
I think with Tet's, he's going to be fine. He'll play, but with his injury, I think we'll go Sutton.
Yeah, I currently have Tet over Sutton this week by one spot. So they're back to back in my rankings, but doesn't matter who you
same
start
tier
to
for
me,
me, so I don't think that's crazy to say.
Yeah.
Seth, what's up, Seth? He would be sending away Ricky Pearsall and Cortland Sutton for Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's a start 7. He says, I'm hesitant for my depth and Ricky's future. To start 7, so it makes it easier to make a move like this. If you make this trade, you're starting Caleb, Hampton, Hubbard, well, I guess Amon-Ra. I guess you have to start Amon-Ra, Kirk or Alec, then Warren. Well, then you can flex Trey Benson.
Yeah, I would put Trey Benson. Well, no, it'll be right because CeeDee Lamb is out. Yeah, right. Okay.
I think what you have to think about this trade as well is when you make this deal, you can also go pick someone up off the waiver wire as well.
Yeah.
So Josh Downs is on the waiver wire, Jaden Higgins is on the waiver wire, Luther Burden, even Woody Marks, one of my favorite stashes at running back, is there. So I
would say
think I make this trade because your starting lineup is fine this week, and then you add a depth piece. Probably Woody if you want a running back, or Downs if you want a wide receiver for depth.
I think that the next step in breaking that down is what's your record. I don't know if you do this if you're 0-3. I think if you are 2-1 or even 1-2, I'm okay to do that. But appreciate you, Seth.
I'll take Texas. Yeah.
Texas toast there. Javonte Williams and Ricky Pearsall you're sending away for Marion and Calvin. I still want Javonte and Ricky there. Calvin's
a nothing burger right now. Yeah. Lucas is sending away Walker, Zay, and Shepard for JCM, Sutton, and Warren.
Okay, so Sterling is nothing in this trade.
Yeah, especially with Godwin back.
I'll take the JCM, Cortland, Tyler, Warren side. Now, my question is, what's that running back room look like for you? Because I technically still have confidence, a little bit more confidence than Walker over JCM. It's not by much, I tell you that much.
Yeah, interesting.
So your running back will be, you have Kyron, Chase Brown, and then JCM will be added to this team. But you also have Tucker Kraft. Like, why would you do this trade?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was going to say, if you're not improving tight end, I don't see a reason to, like, let's make it a 3-for-3, but instead of getting Tyler Warren, maybe upgrade somewhere else. So maybe you take a shot on Brian Thomas and you send back a Jordan Addison, for example.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
That's where things make more sense for me, because you don't really need tight end help. This is Chris. He's sending away Chase, Pickens, T-Mac for JSN. It's a 10-team start 8. That's a heavy price to pay.
That is heavy.
Now, again, who is he losing? Remind me. Pickens,
Chase Brown, George Pickens, and Tetaroa.
So his starting lineup would be Drake, Stafford, Cook, Henderson. Who's he getting back?
He's just getting
JSN, that's it.
JSN.
So JSN, Neighbors, I guess you'd have to start likely. JCM is on the waiver wire. He would start Sutton.
Think he's losing a lot of depth here. Jordan Addison's on the waiver wires, though, as well. Travis Hunter's on the waiver wires. Keon Coleman. I mean, these aren't guys that are going to make or break it, but like you do up tier.
Yeah, I guess you have to ask the question differently, because if you make this move, you can go to the waiver wire, pick up JCM and Jordan Addison. So phrase the question like, Brown, Pickens, McMillan, or JCM, JSN, and Jordan Addison. I think I go the JCM Jordan Addison side.
Yeah, my thought process is if you don't want to do that trade, you can still go up and pick up those guys, and it would still help your team, hopefully. But
This is kind of ideally what you want to do in a smaller league to tier up. So.
Yeah, to tier up, which I understand. I'm a little bit worried about what that team's going to look like after doing the 3-for-1, but I can totally understand. Sam, he says, got Rice, Evans, Ayuk on the IR. Should I trade? Okay, well, we'll have a look. Daniel, Saquon, Alvin, Trey, Brian Thomas. Yeah, well, that makes sense. I'm going to be starting. Wow. Look at the tight end position. Tyler Warren, Juwan Johnson, Jake Ferguson.
If these players were on my Flock League team, they would be in my flexes. Gotta start Jake Ferguson. He's
a tight end one right now.
And so many opportunities.
CeeDee Lamb is out. Yeah.
And then I would probably say you have it how I would start it, but you need to put Kamara in your flex and Benson at RB2. So,
and regarding trades, you need to trade one of those tight ends away. Trade Jawan or Tyler Warren and get some help maybe at a wide receiver because Brian Thomas is in question. Obviously, I know you have Mike Evans, but maybe you can up tier somehow, package one of these guys and up tier for sure.
Appreciate you, man. All
right. Next one there.
Athie, starting Jones, Allen, Etienne, H. Puka, Rome, Warren, and at flex, George Pickens for me, and then between Jameson and Henderson, that's a really tough call.
Jameson's playing the Browns. Browns have been pretty good
defensively, and the difficult part about betting on Jameson this week is you really need time in the pocket for a Jameson play. I'm not sure how much you'll get with Myles Garrett and Graham and that defensive line they have, so I probably would start Henderson if I had those two.
Yeah, and Henderson has a prime matchup. Look, I technically would still go Jameson, but I can totally understand where Zach is coming from.
Yep.
That's a gut call there.
Buffet, starting Mahomes, Bijan, Henry, London, Neighbors, Kraft, Hampton, and then in the flex spot, a lot of great options here like Judkins, McMillan, Metcalf, Godwin, Ferguson even. Would you start Ferguson or Kraft?
I mean, it's a great question. I would go Kraft just based off matchup. They're both playing each other.
Mm-hmm. I have them in the same tier, but I think that Ferguson's going to be more important to their team, to his team, than Kraft will be this week.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to understand. I technically have. Let me just triple check. I'm pretty sure I have Kraft over Ferguson. I do have Kraft over Ferguson. I also think this could be an understanding of if that production is going to continue with Tucker Kraft in a matchup like this. In the flex, though, for me, it's between Tet and Quinshawn. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm going to go Quinshawn, just with the guaranteed touches.
Yeah, which I understand.
Between the two, who's more likely to score a touchdown? Well, Judkins. He's only played a couple games, has a touchdown, and T-Mac doesn't yet, so.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I would do disgusting things for a double touchdown for T-Mac this week. I would do disgusting things.
Nasty things?
Nasty. 8 Crazy Nights is sending away Achane, Puka, and McBride for Cook, Jefferson, and Bowers. Bowers and McBride, I just don't care. Honestly, I just don't care. So the part that I hate about this is losing Puka Nacua. And there's just not a world where I'm letting that happen.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Oh, this is Dynasty, though.
Ooh.
That doesn't really change anything, though.
No.
Bowers and McBride should be in the same tier in Dynasty. Jefferson and Puka should be in the same tier. And Achane and Cook, I still prefer Achane, but it's close. So.
Yeah, it is close.
Yeah,
not
losing Puka.
There. Yeah, appreciate you, though. 8 Crazy Nights. All right. It says, can't link Lee. Kittle on IR, currently 1 and 2. No worries. You're sending away Trey Benson, Mike Evans, Jawan Johnson, receiving Chris Brown, T, and David Njoku.
I'm struggling to understand why you would make this move transparently. Yeah. It's not like T. Higgins right now is a name in a 10-team league that you can go out and say, yeah, I can start T. Higgins this week. I'd rather start Jawan Johnson. So the way I view this is Njoku's not a confident start. Higgins isn't a confident start. Godwin we think will be. But I understand you being 1 and 2, but you're sending away 2 of the players that I'm most confident starting even just this week in Benson and Juwan Johnson. So it's a hard pass for me.
Completely agree, man. Appreciate you, though. Tuggy, 0-3. Down CD can trade picks, punt what week? Okay. So you have Bo Nix, Ashton, trade Benson. At the wide receiver position, I see Matthew Golden. I guess you're starting Josh Downs there, unfortunately, with Juwan Johnson. You're starting Jordan Mason at the flex. And your other start would most likely be JCM if he plays. Now, if JCM doesn't play...
I got to count my blessings in the Flock League. It could be worse.
I think it's going to be Sterling for me. But, like, I'm not leaning on anything. Maybe because of game script.
Yeah,
Kayshon Boutte against the Panthers.
The JCM report is so weird, by the way. I don't know if anybody's been monitoring this, because he was out there stretching with the team. He had his practice jersey on, and then there were certain channels that marked him as practicing, and then later on, certain channels are marking him as not having participated. So really strange, honestly. Like that entire. It's weird. Yes, we will be doing team reviews tonight. Okay, I'm going to rock with JCM, and if you don't have JCM, I just think you put Boutte in. There's not a good option here. With Godwin back, it's hard to trust Sterling.
Yeah, that's true. Appreciate you. Gav, Kai, he's sending away JCM, Chuba, DK, receiving Amon-Ra and Jawan Jennings. Initial thought is, yes, I want Amon-Ra. You're sending away 2 running backs, so you don't have your team linked. I'm still going to do this without the context. If you don't need a tight end, can that tight end be a running back, a low-end running back that you can swap since you're giving away 2? But my initial thought is yes.
Only issue here is if you're giving away like your RB 2 and 3, and then you've got, like Bucky Irving, and your next running back is Tyler Algier. Like, that's a problem. That would be a no, but assuming you have running back depth to take this on, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, agreed.
Nalford here. Starting Allen, Gibbs, Benson, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Kincaid, and at the... Oh, well, you got to start Kraft over Kincaid, though. Even though Kincaid's been good, I still trust Kraft more. In his last flex spot, I don't think I would move Henderson away for any of those other options.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep, okay. Daniel 007 is here.
Yeah, Sutton, Brian Thomas, Kamara, or Judkins, I'm assuming. Pick 3. It would be Cortland Sutton, Alvin Kamara, and Judkins. I'm sitting Brian Thomas out of those 4.
I agree. If that's Judkins, I'm on the same page with you. It's tough, but I agree.
Yeah.
Cat says, please help. 0-3 to start. He's got Caleb. Well, brother, that's probably because you're starting Jackson Dart.
Let's go, baby. Woo! Jackson Dart. Talk it up.
I mean, look, in a very real sense, I'm probably not starting Dart versus an elite defense in his first ever start. I'm probably going to... Yeah, CJ versus Tennessee, or even Carson Wentz, like one of those options I'm probably going with instead. But yeah, probably going CJ. But if you got a gut feeling, you can go with it. There's no problem there. You can see Tyreek Hill, Keon Coleman as well. I'm not going to start T. Higgins over those names. Jake Ferguson at the flex. Love Woody Marks, but I'm going to play Henderson over him for sure.
Yeah, I would agree there. And then Ashton, which is the right play.
The way that you've got it started.
Okay, awesome.
Hey guys, let's just address this right now for anyone who's in the chat. As you guys can see, we have a lot of people who are submitting questions on our website. And right now, those people are deciding to support the Fantasyland brand. They're deciding to keep our lights on. So, in case you might not understand why we're doing that, that's why we're doing that, right? These people are supporting us. They're keeping our lights on. So, of course, as long as there are questions on the website, we're going to answer those questions first. Should there be a scenario where those questions are no longer there, we'll come back to the chat and have a look. But I think that's I think that's pretty fair, right? These people are supporting us financially. They're keeping us afloat. They're asking for our advice, supporting the show. And as long as people do that, and we're gonna prioritize their questions first.
Absolutely. But we appreciate each and every one of you that is in the chat.
100%. Jacobs is a smash this week, by the way, versus the Dallas Cowboys. So absolutely love that. At wide receiver, I would probably start Chase of all these options. Probably McMillan.
No, yeah, if for me it would be McMillan, and then I'll probably go Marion.
Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
okay, so I don't think he's submitted this properly because he's only giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options to play. But
And
let's
it's a
just
start
assume,
7.
let's assume it's a start 7. So let's assume he's starting Allen, Jacobs, Gibbs. His second wide receiver we would choose is probably Chase, and then we probably flex Hampton, I imagine.
Correct.
Okay, so that's how we would
Yeah.
set that lineup, assuming it's a start 7.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Abbott says, I am 1 and 2, and my running back room is trash. Puka, though, saves me. So he would send away Puka. I
I just feel
don't
like
know about
you
this.
can't, you just can't, at least right now, my perspective, sure, I think Alvin's okay, but if I'm going to receive Alvin and a top name and you're thinking Jefferson is going to have better days, I don't think you can trust that.
You have to ask,
Uh-huh.
is your lineup better by removing Puka Nakua? 99% of the people who ask that question, the answer is no. And I
Yeah.
would probably say yours is as well. I would just roll with like Chase Brown and JCM or Chase Brown and Charbonnet
Yeah.
and still have Puka Nakua in my lineup.
Yeah, I would agree. I think if you're trying to at least sell Puka, names like Amon-Ra, Malik still have to come my way. I don't know if we can. Honestly, even Malik is questionable with the quarterback change. Like, it has to probably just be like Amon-Ra or maybe even Jackson, but then I feel like that's still not enough for Puka. So it's a tough spot.
Yeah. All right, Rob Cam here with the start sit. He says trying waivers, Nix, Kamara, or trying waiver Nix. Okay, so he's trying to get Bo Nix off the waivers. That would be great. He's an incredible play this week. If not, Geno's a
would
fine
agree.
stream. He says Kamara or Scat in the flex plus Higgins. So at wide receiver, I think Higgins is still your best option here, even though it's
Yeah, I would
not
agree.
fun. But at the flex spot, between Kamara, Scat, it honestly is closer than I think we realize.
Yeah, I mean, Kamara does have a tough matchup against the Bills. Scott is just going to get a lot of those opportunities. Look, technically, right now, this is crazy to say. They're back to back in my rankings, and Cam Scatterboo is 1 spot higher than Alvin.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I have Scat at 24 and Kamara at 18, so I still lean Kamara, but I don't think it's crazy if you want to have fun and play Scat. I don't think that's wild. Narden 33 is starting Mahomes, Benson, Achane, Smith, Adams, Myers, McBride, Genty. Would you start Javonte over?
Oh, yeah. I would start Javonte. I would start Javonte over Benson. I would. I don't think
Okay,
I can
right.
sit him. I know it's a tough matchup. And I think out of all these people you're sitting is probably Benson. I guess the conversation that we kind of had previously was technically yesterday was Benson or Ashton. Did we have that? Or was it Benson or somebody or
I don't remember, dude. So many
Yeah.
conversations, I don't remember.
I technically still have Ashton Genty over Trey Benson, so that's where I would go. But I wouldn't be upset if you started Trey Benson this week. But if you do, put him in your RB2 spot. Mac 1.
Starting Lamar Jackson, Gibbs, Hampton, T-Mac, Wilson, Warren at flex. It's between Benson, Thomas, and Olave. I think Benson is probably where I would lean there.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm there with
if
you.
you're going to do that, you need to put Benson in your RB spot because he plays in the Thursday Night Football. Put Hampton in your flex, but yeah, that's probably where I would go. I know that's crazy to say, but it's probably where I would go.
Yeah. TJ, Allen, Bucky, Jameer Gibbs. Then you have Drake London, Chris Olave, and then at the wide receiver 3 spot, I am going to be going DJ Moore or Jameson.
Hard part is DJ got bailed out by a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like there's many big plays right now with DJ's game.
I think you're probably going to end up starting both Jameson and DJ based off of the flex option, but let's have a look. For me, I would technically put Jameson first, but yes, I would go DJ then in the flex. I don't think I'm starting him over the Keon Coleman.
Ooh, I don't know. Henderson? I would start Henderson over...
I didn't see Henderson. That's fair.
I actually have DJ ranked ahead of Jameson now that I'm looking at this. I'm just thinking about the matchup versus the Raiders. And then I'm probably starting Travion Henderson over Jameson.
Okay.
I have Jameson in the flock league. I want to be so wrong. I want you guys to come back this week and be like, you were wrong on Jameson. I would be so happy. But I struggle to see how they create enough time behind that pocket with Myles Garrett on the opposite line to get some deep balls going. So,
yeah, which I totally understand.
Chase says, help. Last week was rough. So at quarterback, we have Purdy, Stafford, Dart. I'm going to go Purdy if he's healthy. If not, Stafford.
Yeah, agreed.
At running back, we're going to go Etienne and Mason. At wide receiver, Zay Flowers. At tight end, we're starting Kraft. And at flex, between Kamara, Brown, Worthy, Kittle, Fannin, I think it's Kamara.
Yeah, it'll be Alvin. Okay, awesome. We're on the same page there. Puka, 0-3 in too much depth. Do I look to upgrade somewhere? You're sending away Trey Benson and George Pickens for Jaden Daniels and Chase Brown. Too much depth. Do I upgrade somewhere else?
So you want to upgrade at quarterback is what you're saying. Because right now, you have Dak and Justin.
Yeah.
He also has Harold Fannin. Interesting.
And then George Pickens is your wide receiver, technically 4, potentially 5 if you think about Ricky there. Look, I am okay with this. I think what I would do, I'm okay with the trade.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about it. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe instead of doing quarterback, I would rather try and get the tight end.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But like because you can still you have Dak and Justin. You can stream those guys on a week-to-week basis.
I'd rather go for a Trey McBride. You know.
Luca's in the chat. I think that's him. It says I can also get Benson for Warren straight up. I think that's what I'm doing.
I think Benson's more valuable than Warren at this point.
Okay, well that's I'm okay with
that. I think if you're gonna move Benson, it needs to be Trey McBride. I don't think Warren is. Again, it's way harder to find a running back than a tight end. The reality of the tight end spot is you can't trust anyone, if that makes sense. But I would trade Benson, but I want Trey McBride or someone else back.
Appreciate you, Luca. Thank you so much, Al. 652, Jalen Hurts, CMC, Travis Etienne, AJ Brown, Roma Dunze, Tyler Warren. At the flex, this will be Travion Henderson.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Al. T, he is sending away Emeka Mbuka for Bucky Irving. Well, I think that's a fair trade, in my opinion. What do you need? Do you need help at running back? Because you're trying to do this, right? You're sending away Emeka Mbuka
for sure. I'll take Bucky for sure.
His running. To be fair, by the way, I don't think you have to do this. You have James Cook, Etienne, Amarion. And if he does this, his wide receiver is going to be Jamar Chase and Zay Flowers with Keenan Allen. Maybe it's just best to keep Emeka in this sense.
I just think Bucky's more valuable inherently. We always talk about how hard running backs are to get. So,
Zach Charbonnet is active for Thursday. Wow.
Yeah. Do you make someone a standard or a managing moderator in the chat? Is it standard, like one of our fans?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make Axiom a standard because he's always here answering people's questions. So while we can't always answer all the questions in the chat, we've got great people in our community who are always jumping in and they reply to people and, are a nice ear to the ground for y'all. So that's awesome.
That's love.
But I'm going to keep Bucky. And yeah, again, if you want to help me out in the flock league, I have no idea what to do. I'll be honest with you guys. I have no idea what to do. Fully transparent, 1.2 thousand people. I might be exploiting our audience for my own gain here. This is my flock league decision this week. 1.2 thousand people have voted, and right now it's Keon Coleman, which is what I have in my lineup. It's crazy that Charbonnet is like, I didn't think he would be the last.
I didn't think he would be the last one either.
I thought he might be the first or second. So
I don't understand why that is the case. I'm curious in the community, if you want to put that in the chat, why is Zach Charbonnet the least intriguing out of all those people?
Maybe coming off an injury, people are worried he's not going to get work. But I mean,
are you not
feeling the same way about Marks and Krosky?
I feel the same way about Keon. Like, this offense is so good, they don't have to throw the ball.
That's my concern.
Are they going to be in the same game script against New Orleans like we saw last week? And I don't know. I'm a bit concerned. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Like, I'm concerned for you if you do start.
I'm concerned for me. Here's the thing, Badaki. I could play any one of these names and I'd be concerned. That's the nature of fantasy football right now.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun this year.
I guess maybe they are considering Keon Coleman to the highest upside because he can just catch a 50-yard bomb and then that's your week.
Exactly. That's where my mind is. Okay. Would you send away Monty, Javante, and Rice for Bijan and Golden? Interesting. It's a 14-team league, start 8. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a starting lineup going in a 14-team start 8. So you got to keep that in mind.
So he currently has his starting lineup will be Lamar Jackson, and Bijan with Benson there. Is he losing? And then Rashee Rice. I'm doing this trade. He has enough depth at running back that he's okay to do that with and Benson.
I just wonder if you could not lose Rice somehow. Like, can you send Sutton instead of Rice? I'm assuming if you're making this trade, you're either 2-1 or 3-0. Obviously, you can't keep Rice if you're 0-3 or 1-2 or whatever. But I would rather see if I can move Sutton and keep Rice. But overall, I think I'm fine with it as well, considering you have. I don't understand. That's an insane team for a 14-team league.
It is.
Baker
BTS,
or Daniels. I'll play Daniels if he's healthy. If not, Baker's fine. At a running back, oh my God.
Yeah, well, I think we had this conversation. It's going to be, I think it was Judkins or Genty, and we said Judkins for sure. Now, the question is, actually, it's going to be Ashton, Genty, and Judkins.
Not Brees versus the Dolphins?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Brees is the one I have Brees ranked highest of any of these names.
Okay, well, let's have a look. Okay, let me just triple check here on my rankings.
So I'm going Brees. Daniels, Judkins, Brees. At wide receiver,
Brees and Genty are back to back, and I have Brees one spot higher, so you're correct.
Yeah.
So Ashton and Brees, and then wide receiver is going to be Malik with Emeka. Tight end is going to be Kraft. That leaves.
You can't sit Devontae Adams though.
Yeah. I
don't know how you sit Devontae Adams.
You have to consolidate here, brother. 10-man league, start 7. You have Genty, Benson, Walker, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, all on the bench here. We can up tier somewhere, somehow, if possible. But appreciate you, DTS. LB7. Josh Allen. This is gonna be Ashton Genty with Chuba Hubbard.
At receiver, we're going to play a Dunze, Neighbors, Kincaid at tight end. Then at your flex spot, I'm probably playing Garrett Wilson. And then with your last flex, I think you've got great options. I'm jealous. But like Benson, Myers, Pittman, all great options. Devontae Adams didn't practice, by the way, on Thursday with a hamstring injury. So just monitor that as well. Wait a second.
I have Devontae Adams in the
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. What's their depth chart look like?
Jordan Whittington.
Jordan Whittington, right? I'm desperate. I am desperate. Yeah, Jordan Whittington might be the next man. Okay, just something I'm monitoring. Huh?
Don't do this to me.
Look, it's not uncommon. Like, Devontae is the type of player at this point of his career where he could miss every practice every week and still go out there and play, and there would be no concerns. So it's not like we have to push panic alarms yet. But it's not fun.
Yeah. Harris Johnson, left tackle, is up, which is big for Arizona, which is awesome. Let's go. Give it to Trey Benson. I'm starting Trey Benson in the Flock League this week. Oh, boy.
What happened? What happened, sir?
No, they're left tackle.
Paris Johnson's not playing?
Is playing.
Oh, he is playing. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Apparently, he was questionable going into the week. I didn't follow that.
Okay. Now, at the flex, you have to choose between Benson, Pittman, and Myers. Hard not to play Benson. I like Pittman and Myers matchup a lot this week, though. Yeah, but I think you probably put Benson at RB and flex Hubbard. That's tough because Pittman and Myers have a great chance
It is
to
tough.
smash.
Yeah,
but-
I really like Myers' matchup
Would,
this week.
would you go a different way? It's just hard to go away from the touches.
Yeah, it's hard to wait to go from that. Look, if there was somebody, I like to put the wide receiver in the flex, so I would technically go Myers, but I can see Benson easily being the higher scorer this week.
There's going to be a lot of people after tonight's game really happy or really sad. Really sad.
Please, I can't do it. Not me. Next here, Jordan Love, Alvin Kamara is going to be with Josh Jacobs. Then is going to be Ricky. With Keenan Allen there at the flex. Doesn't look like any of these guys are going to play. It's probably be, once again, we had this thing. It would be Myers technically, but I wouldn't be upset if you put Trey Benson.
Yeah,
there.
so for me, it would be Benson, just guaranteed touches, and then Kamara at the flex.
Ramen says I'll be 2-1 if I start Hampton, but what do you think? He says Lamakonki, Roma Dunze for Justin Jefferson. Start A, you're giving up depth there. I don't know if I would want to do this without looking at your team. My initial gut thought is no. So your team is Ashton, Mario, Quinshon, Nico.
The hard part is you're not really sure that you trust Adunze less than Jefferson right now. You know, obviously Jefferson has the inherent name, but just from a pure trust level right now, it's difficult to really say that Jefferson is far more trustworthy than Adunze in fantasy football.
Sure, I think what I can tell you for sure is that Rome is getting into the end zone and in every single week, and he has been the main target for Caleb, where JJ or Carson Wentz have multiple opportunities. Not opportunities. They've just been spreading the ball around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just based off of the sample size of the first 3 weeks.
Yeah. I still lean Rome here personally.
Yeah.
As Thoth says, Pearsall equals Henderson, really torn on flexing Henry, Marvin, Harrison. Okay, so Pearsall is actually Henderson, I'm guessing. So he's made a trade, it hasn't gone through.
I'm assuming it went through because I see Pearsall here. So
well, Pearsall is Henderson though.
Sorry. I thought it was Henderson, right? Okay.
So Henderson, Harrison.
I would go Henderson over Marvin.
Or he said Henry. Who would Henry? Hunter Henry, right? Yeah, I'm. Oh wow, you have to make that decision tonight. Yeah, I mean the funny thing is like if Marvin just was competent last week, he would have been a great fantasy play. That's what's so difficult about this. Fantasy, there's a lot of unknowns, guys. There's a lot of luck involved in a lot of this and unlucky situations, but I'm probably putting Henderson in.
I'm putting Henderson in as well. Yeah.
Holy shit! Is starting Herbert, Gibbs, and I'm gonna rock with Kamara, Brown, and Jigba, Warren at flex. Between Brown and Benson, really, you got to make a call here. I'm still rocking with Chase Brown, but I completely understand if you want to go Trey Benson. Chase Brown is not fun to play right now. If you want to have more fun, put Trey Benson into your lineup at RB instead of flex.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
I'm starting Benson over Chase Brown this week if I was in that situation, but
I can understand why people would do that. Ricky is sending away Kyron and Metcalf for Brees and Garrett. You want to double jet up, bro? You want to get double jet up? Double cheeked up? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to get double cheeked up like this.
I would say, look, I want to get off of DK, so I would agree with you. Maybe you just do DK for Garrett straight up if you can.
Well, yeah, look, that's why the trade is happening, though. You're not getting the trade straight up.
Yeah, I would just keep Kyron and DK.
I don't know, man. DK is one of my sell highs right now. It's funny, like high. He's been really bad, but
I just think I trust Kyron long term a little bit more, and if Kyron is going to produce hypothetically what Garrett Wilson's producing, then I'll be okay with DK just producing what Breece Hall is doing for me currently. Now, Brees Hall, any given week, DK can go off. Same thing with Brees Hall. So I would just rather keep the more consistent, higher, higher scoring team in Kyron Williams.
Yeah, this is close. Maybe you don't have your team link. Can't come up with a counter, but I mean, I don't know. Wilson and Metcalf are going to both be boom bust, but it seems like a lot more boom in store for Garrett. Like, Garrett is the case you want a DK to have, which is low volume passing offense, but dominating target share. And you're not seeing that for DK right now. If your running back room is strong enough, honestly, and losing Kyron and starting Benson or Brees isn't going to kill you, I'm fine to do this. But you need to have a very strong running back room to do so. 13 code 3. Bo Nix, I'm starting this week over Jordan Love. Both have great matchups, but I think Nix is going to be more important to his offense. At wide receiver,
be Sutton for me, and then probably put Ricky in the flex anyway. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll put Ricky in the flex over JCM and Harvey there.
Agreed.
It's Josh Zilla, Josh Allen, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor. It's going technically to be Devontae Adams, and then Cortland Sutton in that flex. Now, if Devontae Adams doesn't play, I'm okay to go ahead and put Quentin Johnston in there. Well, Cam Scatterboo's there, actually.
8 team start 7. I think Scatterboo is as weird as it sounds, like the upside play. I just don't know how much the Chargers receivers will be needed. That's my concern. But hopefully you don't have to make that decision.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have to do that.
Would you send away CMC for Bucky and McBride in a start 7 league? Bucky, what's weird is like Bucky is going to be much better. This is strange to say, but he's dominating usage. Tristan Wirfs was a full participant in practice today. That's a great sign of him coming back. They need help on their offensive line. And Godwin will be back. There'll be more space available for these running backs. He's just, from a usage perspective, really, really special. But losing McCaffrey is a big deal. If you lose McCaffrey, it's Bucky Travion. Right now, it's CMC Travion. That's tough.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think.
I just don't think you can trade away McCaffrey. That's just ultimately what it comes down to.
My thought process is how big of a difference is Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid on a points per game basis?
I think it will be significant, but not enough to lose CMC.
Yeah, because right now they're averaging nearly the same. So if we're just going based off what we know, but that's kind of hard. Miss Campbell. Shout out to Miss Campbell. Campbell's chicken noodle soup. I don't see a quarterback, unfortunately. So that's okay. Maybe you're in the chat here with us. You can tell us. It's going to be Bucky Irving, and then I guess Chuba Hubbard. I think I have Trey Benson over Chuba this week. I do have Trey Benson over Chuba. I can tell you that. Yes.
I'll go Chuba. More inbuilt trust. And I understand people's concerns last week, but I think they're not taking into account that the team won 30-0. So I think that was more a reason why Rico was so heavily involved.
And I would flex Cortland Sutton. I'm happy either way at the running back position, but I'll flex Cortland Sutton there.
Yeah. And we don't know what quarterback you have. Delicious is starting Hurts, Hampton, Gibbs, T-Mac, Puka, Laporta. There's no flex here. You haven't given us a flex, so I'm going to just let you know how you can go about submitting your lineup, by the way. In the My Teams page, you go to Start Sit. Then you'll see your league. If you haven't linked it yet, link it with Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. And then once you hit continue, it should automatically show like all your positions, but you need to like tell us who you're considering, right? So click considering on each position unless you know, I'm locked in on Bucky, so I don't need to consider that. I'm locked in on Kamara. But for example, for me this week, my flex, I am considering names like JCM, Charbonnet, Woody Marks, Keon Coleman. So that kind of, the more information you give us, the better we can answer your question. Right now, there's no flex, so I'm going to give you a free Start Sit voucher to come back and submit that. Because I think you probably want us to talk about your flex, and we don't have your flex even there. Guys, appreciate you all for being here, by the way. We're going to answer as many questions as we can tonight. Now, if you want to enter tonight's giveaway, all you have to do is type TNF into the chat. TNF just like that, and like the stream. Now, before we log off for Thursday Night Football, we'll do a giveaway. We'll give 2 start-sit vouchers and 2 trade question vouchers, so 4 vouchers in total. But again, all you got to do is like the stream and type TNF into the chat. Appreciate y'all for being here. Last thing I'll say before we move on is the 2025 Season Pass still available, a $34 one-time purchase. When you purchase the Season Pass, make sure you use the promo code LAND, L-A-N-D. You're going to get some vouchers to come on the site for free. You're going to get access to weekly rankings, rest of season rankings from us, as well as all the premium tools on the Flock site, like the trade calculator, etc. Okay, Matt Bear here has Daniel Jones at RB2. Wow. I feel you, Matt. What do you think, Badaki? What do you think, Charbonnet or JCM?
It's going to be Zach Charbonnet for me. Which
I've
said. I told you that before the live stream.
No, I know. The problem is, number one, JCM's matchup is not good. Okay? Number two, JCM hasn't been practicing anyway. So it's not like you can play, well, Charbonnet's dealing with an injury. Okay, so, and I'm not starting Pacheco. That's not happening. So, yeah, I think Charbonnet is the answer, unfortunately. That's
Bro, they've been roasting Pacheco on Twitter. Just saw a bunch of clips.
Yeah, you mean because he ran the opposite way? He ran the opposite direction of the flow of play.
It was that, and then like he just ran straight into the back of a lineman, and like
while he was trying to great vision, unfortunately.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, looking at the rest of your lineup, I'm going Warren and T-Mac in your tight end and flex spot.
Yeah, I'm good with that as well. Appreciate you, Matt. All right, next one here. Josh Jacobs, Amon-Ra, you're sending away for Jahmyr Gibbs and Drake London. I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs and Drake London.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Easy.
Loa says, love you guys. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, man. He's starting May Lawrence, Genty Kamara, Chase Puka, Warren, and it's a start 11. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 flex spots. Scatterboo.
Yeah, I see Jordan Mason. I see Trey Benson. I see Cam Scatterboo.
What we're going to have to do is put Benson in your RB spot, and then we'll flex Kamara. With your last flex spot,
it's between Worthy and Golden.
I'm going Golden this week in that matchup. You and I are on different pages with Worthy right now. I don't think he's out there to be a guy that gets 9 targets this week. I think he's a decoy. I really would be hesitant to start him personally.
Funny enough, I have Worthy and Matthew Golden literally back to back.
Right.
I have Worthy 1 spot higher. I'm gonna go Worthy.
Okay.
I think if they're comfortable enough to play him, they know that this offense is struggling and they need to throw that ball. And I think against the Ravens, they're probably going to have to. So
I view Worthy as a decoy. I don't think. I mean, this man, if he gets tackled, he's in a dangerous position for his health. That's concerning to me. You look at Matthew Golden. He plays the Dallas Cowboys. One of the best matchup for your wide receivers. His route participation was up last week. Career highs in route participation, snap share, target share. All the signs are that there's a big game ahead for him. I unfortunately I tried to submit that and it didn't go through. So give me 1 second.
No worries.
Hold on. We are close. Okay, so we answered this question in detail about, so go like a minute back into the stream and you'll see our detailed answer as we kind of talk to this one through. Badaki's going Worthy, I'm going Golden, so we made our case as to why. The Beyonders is starting Geno, which, Geno or Dak. I'm probably starting Geno personally.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. What can you do? Saquon, Bucky, Keenan, Quinton, Jawan, and flexing Kenneth Walker. Yeah, look, you got to put Kenneth Walker in that RB2 spot if you're going to play him. Yeah, I think that's how I'll start that lineup.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Daniel 007, he says, I also have Chase Brown, want Travion. You're sending Kenneth Walker and Lad for Travion and Ricky. I'm indifferent on this. I would prefer to send Chase Brown. As well. Yeah, if you can send Chase Brown instead, that's better. But, I mean, Walker was completely mediocre last week.
He was. I know he got into the end zone twice. That's the only reason that he was valuable at all. You know? So,
yeah.
I'm fine with this long term. Strains, start sit, Caleb or Bo Nix. So, funnily enough, Bo Nix is my start of the week, but I do have Caleb ranked to one spot higher versus the Raiders.
Okay.
So, I really don't have a strong opinion there, but I just slightly lean Caleb. Okay, so yes, they blew out the Saints guys, but anybody who watched that game with their eyes knows that Kenneth Walker was not good. Like, let's be so for real for a second. Anybody who owns Kenneth Walker, if you're honest with yourself and you watched that game versus the Saints last week, he was not good. Okay, 2.3 yards per carry. Every time he touched the ball, yes, the offensive line is also a problem, but he wasn't like some world beater last week. He fell into the end zone twice. That's where his value came from. Wasn't a single run or a play that you were like super happy about. Let's be so for real about Ken Walker right now, okay? But we're going to start Ken Walker here. At the flex spot, we're going to start Juwan over TJ for me. And then at the flex, I don't think you can sit Travis Etienne.
No, I'm there with you.
Brock Purdy limited in practice again.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think he'll probably play this week.
Chrome Football. Someone's at the door. I'll be back.
That's okay. Chrome Football is starting Caleb Bucky at RB2. I'm going to go Judkins. Jake Ferguson. And then at the flex, hard to not start Egbuka here. Wow, you got AJ Brown too. Wow. What a lineup. Yeah, that's what I'm rocking with there. Chrome Football. Good luck. De'Ami Brown practiced in a limited fashion. Juwan Jennings did not practice, as well as Devontae Adams. So if anybody out there was going to desperation play Parker Washington, that looks like it's up in the air now with De'Ami Brown practicing. Okay, Texas Boy says can't decide on who to start on wide receiver spots in flex. So he's got, I don't think you did. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so at wide receiver, yeah, I mean, we're going to start Neighbors, Nico Chase for sure, then Egbuka, Pearsall, and you're stuck between names like Pearsall and Henderson. You're stuck between Pearsall, Brown, Myers. I love Jacoby Myers this week, but I like Ricky Pearsall even more. So I think you have this set up the way I would already have it. It's tough to have 3 guys on your bench that you can start like Henderson, Brown, and Myers, but I wouldn't do anything to change your lineup the way it's currently constructed. I think you've done it exactly the way I would. Now, keep in mind, Jamar Chase is playing on Thursday night, so you could put Jamar Chase in your, or on Monday night, so you could put Jamar Chase in your flex, and you could start Egbuka. But outside of that, I think you have it how we would have it too, man. Nightwing at quarterback, I'm going to start Caleb Williams. We've got Achane, Bucky, Puka, Egbuka, McBride. Then at the flex spot, this will be probably Judkins for me. Yeah. Good luck, brother. Planet Drool says Ferg or Warren. He's got Herbert, Warren, Achane, Egbuka, Jason at tight end. I'm going Ferguson. Every indication that he should smash again. Now, fantasy is so random. We have to keep that in mind. But the reality is, when you look at a name like Jake Ferguson, and you look at the matchup versus the Packers, they're probably going to be down, high over under, no CeeDee Lamb. It's hard to really sit a Jake Ferguson right now. And then if Devontae Adams doesn't play, you better hope Juwan Jennings plays. And if Jennings doesn't play, then you can flex Warren. But Adams is the name. Chrome Football, what's up, man? He's got Kyler, Mahomes, Pollard, Brees, Sutton. At wide receiver 2, I hate to say it, but Higgins is your best option. Then at the flex spot, wow, I do not envy you in this position. Look, I struggle to make any case for Isaiah Pacheco right now, guys. I really struggle to make any case for Pacheco right now. So I think Worthy is probably your best option. And then it's between Fannin and Marks. Or Calvin Austin here as well. Cedric Tillman, Calvin Austin, Fannin. Those are all options. Wow. What did the rankings say? Because that is all really difficult to answer. So Tillman, we've got against Detroit. That is actually pretty interesting. I might lean Tillman here. Yeah, we're gonna start Cedric Tillman there. That's not fun though. I apologize you're in that spot. That's not fun. Oh, I don't know why I'm apologizing, but BC White at quarterback. We're gonna start Drake May. You've got Kyron. You've got Judkins. I'm starting Judkins there. London Amon-Ra, Pitts at tight end, and then in your flex between Ginty, Benson, McConkey, I'm gonna go Ginty there at the flex spot. Darth Tater says RB2 is Walker or Scattaboo, and a flex. Okay, so Walker or Scattaboo. I have recently, with the activation of Charbonnet, decided I would rather start Cam Scattaboo over Walker. That's news I've made since that activation.
Okay.
Walker dropped from like RB 24 to RB 29. I'd rather play Benson over him and some of these other names.
Okay. That's fair. I can definitely see that. I would agree.
And then at the flex spot, I'm probably playing McMillan.
Yeah, for me, it'll be Tet at the flex.
Okay, Daniel, what's up, man? Appreciate you for being here. He says, I have 4 running backs. I can play 3. Which ones? So he's got Baker, Judkins, Brees, Thomas, Jameson, Harold, Fannin. And at the flex, Benson, Henderson. So the way I would probably play this out is by playing Benson tonight and flexing Judkins.
Well, he has Brees as well.
Yep, Brees is already there.
All right, Brees is already there. Okay, say less. Okay, Dan is next here.
We will do these team reviews, by the way. Just got to get through these questions first.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, and then I see Bucky Irving, James Cook. Wide receiver is going to be Puka. Brian Thomas at the tight end, Tyler Warren, and then you're flexing Henderson. And it's going to be Golden for me.
Yep, we're on the same exact page there.
Nick M. Page. It's going to be Bo Nix or Drake May. I mean, these guys have been getting me each and every week here. It's going to be Drake May for me.
Yes, I agree.
Very close. Those guys both have interesting matchups for sure.
At the flex, Sutton is probably your
flex
best option.
Is going to be. Yeah, I would agree there. All right, Nick. Lazy Bones. Guillotine. Do I hold out for Fields or run Kyler?
I'd play Justin.
Yeah.
I'd rather play Justin.
And you have the option if Justin doesn't play with Tua because they played. I mean, that's where I would go.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard there, and then I would be starting. Gosh, it's gonna have to be JCM. And then that's how the rest of the
for a guillotine league in week 4. I want to wish you the best of luck, Lazy Bones.
You gonna lose, bro.
I'm just saying. That's tough.
Funny as hell.
A lot of these teams look a lot better right now than these guillotine leagues. I mean, he says he's in the chat. He's like, it's a rough, brother. Okay, Dan. We're gonna start Drake May. At running back, Bucky Irving's got to be in there. At wide receiver, Adunze, Sutton. At tight end,
it's gonna be Fannin,
and then at the flex,
Tet is gonna be for me.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. Tire Providence here. JK at the flex option, you're considering Chris Olave and Henderson.
I think Olave's safer.
Yeah, Olave at the Bills,
but
kind of what you expected.
Henderson is.
I'll go Henderson this week. I don't know if you saw that report. He was getting like first team. I don't know how accurate what the report was, but I saw a report, and I didn't really go more into depth, but he was getting the first team reps ahead of.
Yeah, that's
Ramondre and stuff.
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like
that's what I'm saying.
Goes back to camp. I'm not sure how like valuable that information is, But I am going to go Henderson. I just think it's a great matchup for him, and he's the more fun play. Safe and Sound says, have Seattle's defense. Do I pick up the 49ers or Dolphins? Definitely don't play the Dolphins defense. I don't care who they play.
No,
he says, and flex options, Jordan. Okay, so let's start this. 49ers or Seattle. Remember, the 49ers just lost their best defensive player, Nick Bosa, for the entire year. Which, not fun. 49ers play...
They play the Jags, and they play at home. I like the 49ers over Seattle this week, personally. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's still Fred Warner out there. Trevor Lawrence kind of holds that ball a little bit longer. Kyler Murray's little cockroach will get away from it, from those sacks. And that doesn't mean he doesn't get sacked, but I'm just going to go 49ers. Just like that atmosphere. They're 0-3, or 3-0. They're at home. I'm going to go 49ers.
I mean, I don't think there's a wrong... They're both... Look, fantasy is inherently very random, and defense is even further to the extent. But I just think Seattle right now, I prefer after that Bosa injury. I'm not sure what sort of pressure the Niners are going to be able to create on a weekly basis right now. So, yeah.
And then at the flex option, he says Jordan Mason, Kenneth Walker.
Mason for me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Safe.
Yes, also has Keenan Allen there as well. All right, Julian is next here, and it just refreshed me. Okay, Julian Sanchez here.
Ferguson at tight end, and then in the flex spot, I'm going Jordan Mason.
I'm right there with you. Say less. Mutiny is next. Tiny.
Mutiny.
I'm saying that right.
Mutiny. That's all right. Fields.
Justin Herbert.
Fields, Justin Herbert. Two great options.
Yeah. Wow. I have to look at my rankings
Justin
for this one. Yeah, I have Justin higher as well. Kyron. It's going to be Quinshawn, Nico Jamar, Brock Bowers.
Flexing. Wow, London or Genty. Interesting. I think London.
Do we? Yeah. We're still. Are we still starting Jamar Chase over Genty though? Yeah,
yes,
we are. Hey,
I would.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It's tough because we're not getting really any usage in the air for Genty right now, which is discouraging.
No. I mean, that one target last week, I don't think, right? No.
All right, let's quick fire so we can do some of these team reviews. Let's start quick fire in here. FB Finesser, would you send away Genty, Judkins, Pickens for Puka Nacua? Wow, what a question. 12
That's a start 9.
That's
a little bit deeper.
Depth is very important.
That's what she said.
And remind me who he's losing, Badaki, if he does this.
He's losing Quinshawn, George Pickens, and Ashton Genty.
Okay, so Quinshawn, George Pickens, and Ashton Genty. So his starting lineup would be May, CMC, Amarion. Then it would be Puka, Egbuka, Strange.
Puka, Egbuka, gosh.
He has Olave still, right?
He has Olave. He would have Travion still.
Yep, he would start Travion.
I don't think he has enough. And then Jordan Addison comes back. Matthew Golden's there.
Yeah.
I think I understand why you do this trade. But would we just swap? Like, what if it was just CMC straight for Puka?
Don't really think that matters, though. That doesn't really make a big difference, I don't think.
No, I mean, but it makes it even in the sense of like he's losing 1 for 1 and he still has the depth.
In my mind, the counter is removing Judkins and Pickens and just sending, as hard as it is to do, probably Egbuka and Genty. Egbuka, Genty, and then you ask back for something smaller like a DJ Moore or a Johnston or something.
Sure, happy with that.
I think that's probably a better counter. Jay Dennis says, need help with quarterback and flex. No worries, man. I'm going to go Caleb pretty confidently over Dak this week. At tight end, we don't know who your tight end is, but it's okay. You said you didn't need help with it. At flex, well, you can't play James Conner.
It'll be Trey Benson. You put Trey Benson in your RB2 spot.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
I agree. Bucky in the flex.
Next one says,
Dennis.
Yeah, I'm 0-3, need points now and selling running back depth. Javonte and Olave for Drake London. I mean, in a start 10-man league, I guess that's probably why you're not.
Yeah. Could you make this Pollard instead of Javonte?
Yeah, I don't want to move Javante. If anything, Javante is the one you should be starting on a week-to-week basis in the star 7 and in your flex.
Javante is a decent sell high with the upcoming schedule, but
At least I guess he was starting AJ Brown, and that's it. No, he was. No, he wasn't, because he had. Who did
right
you
now in a
start if
start
it
10,
wasn't
he's starting
Javante?
Knicks, Etienne, Saquon, JSN, AJ. At tight end, Henry or Fannin right now, and then his last flex spot is either Javante, Olave. He's basically eliminating the decision he has to make each week, which
Yeah,
I
for just
don't
Drake
mind,
London.
but I prefer to do it with Pollard instead of Javante if possible. So, I think it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel says, need
Daniel,
upside, worried about JMO. JMO versus Horton versus Wandale. I think if you need upside, then that's
JMO.
Jameson Williams. Yeah. You have
Yeah.
to be okay with the bust because it's very possible, obviously. But if you're saying you need upside, I mean, that is Jameson defined. Upside and bust. So if you're going to lose by playing it safe, you might as well go hard in the paint. Rigoni says, Garrett or Tet as my last flex. So quarterback 2, I'm rocking with Justin Fields. We've got Gibbs, Bucky, Collins, Sutton, and then with the last flex, I think Garrett Wilson's built too much trust to sit him right now.
Yeah, and he plays Miami. Divisional game. I kind of like that as well. I'm there with you. Brees over Etienne and Benson. Any merit in playing Myers here? Okay, well, at the quarterback, we don't have. You're starting Saquon. It would be Etienne then. Malik Jackson, Tyler Warren.
Last flex spot for me would be probably A.J. Brown. Brees is a great matchup, too.
Yeah, I mean, these running backs all look great. I mean, A.J. Brown playing the Bucks. Bucks can score for sure. I would go A.J. Brown there as well. Hard to sit these running backs in Brees and Benson, but I can totally understand where you're coming from.
Yes, Noah. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing there. Hopefully that's helpful, man. But yeah, this is hard in an 8-team start 7, man. I would package like Tyler Warren and DK Metcalf and try and get, a superstar. Boomer sending away Saquon, Alec, Rice for Brees, Nico, Addison.
I have Chase Brown as running back. Kittle, Scary Terry, Worthy, Jalen.
I'm not doing this because when Rashee Rice is back, he's just as valuable as Nico in my eyes. So hard pass.
Lord of the Falls here. Brees Hall, Brian Thomas, you're sending away for Nico Collins.
He says trading CD to Rome and Adunze. Can I do this too? Oh, so I think we helped him yesterday with a team review.
Yeah, we did team review.
And we said that's a dream scenario. So it sounds like he's able to pull it off, which is awesome.
Yeah. If you can do the Rome and Etienne, I think we would agree with that.
Yeah, so if you can move CD for Rome and Etienne, and then you can turn Brees and Thomas into Nico, I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that as well. That's
but
really
you
good.
Only do that if you're able to do that first trade that you mentioned.
A legal window, David Montgomery or
yes. So just to clarify, Xander, do both, my friend. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, you're good. David Montgomery or Trey Benson. It's going to be Trey Benson for me long term.
Yeah, I think Monty's a good sell high right now. Not that he won't have great games, but it's all about volume in fantasy. Nick, Saquon, Jacobs, Egbuka, Neighbors, McBride at the flex spot.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky versus the Jags. Hard to sit. Axiom, what's up, brother? He's starting May, Hampton, Bucky, London, Neighbors, McBride in the last flex spot between Golden and Henderson. I understand the question. I do love Matthew Golden this week. My only concern is between these two players, ask yourself which one from a game script perspective could be written out of need. And I think that's Matthew Golden. So that's why I lean Henderson, just because I don't see a scenario in which they don't need Henderson. I do see a scenario in which the Packers are just up and they don't need Golden. Not to say that that's going to happen, because fantasy is random. But, it's our best guesstimation with the information we have, right?
Yeah, completely agree. Appreciate you. Next one here says Evans out, McLaurin questionable, need wide receiver flex. Patrick, Jameer, Chuba, wide receivers is good. I mean, if these guys don't play, then you're gonna have to play Quinton Johnson, and Chris Olave.
I would argue that even if Terry plays, I'm probably playing Johnson and Olave this week.
Yeah, and then at the flex, it looks
Warren.
like it's going to be Jalen Warren.
Jalen Warren for me. Yeah, that's not a bad lineup though.
No, not at all.
Chris says 1 and 2 will probably have to trade Bijan if I lose week 4. Any help will be appreciated. So between Mahomes and Justin, that's close.
It's gonna be Justin Herbert.
I lean Justin versus the Giants. Bijan at RB2 between Chase and Henderson. I probably lean Chase.
Yeah, it's gonna be Chase, but maybe we start those guys in the flex anyway. So let's have a look.
At wide receiver, I think DJ Moore is still your best bet there. At tight end, Trey, and then in the flex spot, we're gonna go Henderson and Golden anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate you, Bobby. Bobby Baloney says really just unsure on Benson picking Sutton's. Okay, so at the flex position here, Benson, Sutton, Trey. Well, this is gonna be Sutton easy in the flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sutton's got more inbuilt value. He's got a great matchup as well. So yeah, I think he's set to smash. Tony has Caleb Williams at running back. I'm going to go Judkins here.
Judkins, yeah.
Then at his flex spot, it's between Marvin, Worthy, Chase Brown, Ken Walker.
I mean, look, I don't know what your record is, but my initial gut feeling is telling me to go Martin Harrison here, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I will go one of the running backs, either Chase or Ken. And I'm probably going to lean Chase in a better matchup this week.
The BY at the flex here, the buy, it's going to be Quinshawn Judkins.
For how? You talking about how?
Oh, no, I see the BY. Sorry.
Oh, I don't see the BY.
You don't see the how.
You don't see how? Okay, let me refresh. Let's make sure we got everybody.
Yeah, let me refresh as well. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes there's ones that you click on. It's like, I don't have that on my end, which is weird.
Okay, I see the BY here. Start sit. So Love, Benson, Hampton, Collins, Jefferson, McBride, and we're going Judkins over Olave. Yeah. A lot of opportunity for Judkins. Miles would send away Warren for Thomas and Kincaid. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to make this trade.
Agreed.
Pikachu, what's up, brother? He is sending away Scat and Worthy for Henderson and Rice. Yeah, I love this, actually. I'm obsessed with this deal. Especially if you're like 2-1 or 3-0.
Yeah.
Doph at quarterback. I'm starting Daniel Jones. Indiana Jones. What a nickname. It was meant to be. He was never meant to be in New York. New York was the problem. At your flex spot, hard to sit, Keenan Allen.
Agreed. Completely.
The BY says help flex Judkins or Olave or Trey Benson. I think Olave is the one that we're sitting between all those options.
Yeah,
Olave, but you know, these guys who are just touching the ball 15 plus times, it's hard to sit them in fantasy football. Big Tech says pick up Stafford or Jones, and would you start either over Baker Mayfield with his bicep injury? I would start Daniel Jones.
I would as well.
Yeah, I'd start Daniel Jones.
Agreed.
Miles. I read that wrong.
That's crazy.
I was like, yeah, all right, man, do your thing. All right, what's
and
up,
he
girl?
just had a question. He just had a question before, and he was like,
funny. Yep. All right, Terry and CD are injured. My wide receiver 1 and 2, so he is starting at running back. I'm going Dobbins here. Then we've got Johnston, Jameson, Kamara, and I don't see a change I would make to the way that you've got it set up.
Yeah, I would agree.
I guess if Terry plays and Jaden is out there, I'd play him over Jameson in that world, if that world exists this week.
Sure.
Thanks, Miles.
Okay.
Buddy.
Miles.
Buddy is here.
Bud.
I'm not your bud, pal. I'm not your pal, buddy. Okay, I'm not crazy to consider this. I had Chase in 23 and don't really want to deal with that again. So he would send away Chase for Rice and Zay. I don't think this is crazy at all. Between Zay and Chase, like, you can start both of those guys each week. But,
yeah,
like, when Rice comes back, do you not prefer Rice over Chase anyway? Rest of season?
I mean, yeah, most likely. But I think the question is, like, what your record is. I don't know if you do that now. I feel like the only way you can do this is now for Rice. But if you're 0-3, you shouldn't do this because Rice is not going to help you. And I still rather have Chase over Zay. Now, if you're kind of in that in between 0 and 1 and 2, 2 and 1, it's a little bit more of a windows open, if you will, to kind of do this trade.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Rice because you can start Zay and Chase anyway, and then when Rice comes back, that's like a superpower. And I would argue when Rice is back, even if you don't want to believe in him, you could trade him before he even plays for a haul. Okay, are we up to date? We've got one more question, and then we can finally get to some team reviews. At quarterback, Justin Fields. And then at flex, Judkins from me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, Justin Jefferson though. Wow, what a crazy team. Start 8, yeah.
I would go Quinshawn.
Jefferson? I don't think I can sit Jefferson.
I like Jefferson. I'm just scared. I'm scared of that offense. I don't think it's going to be as easy as it was last week. Maybe it gives them more reason to throw the ball against Pittsburgh. I don't really know, man. That's a tough one. But Quinshawn I just think Quinshawn's the truth.
I think legit. The Steelers' defense is ass. So if any week Jefferson's going to go off, it's this week. I can't sit him. I can't do it. Maybe I'm stupid. And then one more question here before we jump into some team reviews. We are going to get to these team reviews here. Ravens Flocks at quarterback. I'm going to go Drake May. Then we've got Etienne Pollard, Neighbors, Puka, McBride, Keenan. And then in the flex, we're going to go Jameson Williams. Appreciate you, man. That's a decent lineup there. Okay, let's get to some team reviews. Let's start with Manny here. If you guys don't know what's going on, first of all, at the end of today's stream, we're going to do some giveaways. And the way that those work is all you have to do is like our stream and type TNF into the chat. Before Thursday Night Football kicks off and before we end the stream, we're going to give away 4 vouchers, 2 trade questions and 2 start-sit vouchers. Now, what we're going to do here on this stream now is start looking at some teams and helping people out. Now, if you want to submit a question through the site, no problem. We'll jump in between the team reviews and the questions. But if you do want a team review from us, here's the good news. Anybody who gets a team review from Zach and Badaki with Fantasyland also gets what we call the Fantasy Playbook. Now, with the team playbook, if you want that whole experience, you got to use a promo code LAND, become an annual Mother Flocker member. That will give you a voucher that you can use through the Flock store to submit a team review with us. Now, you can also go through that process if you're a member of a different promo code. You just have to buy it a la carte. And if you're a season pass member, you can also upgrade to an annual membership as well. Let's start with Manny here. Let's review his team. Go ahead and take us away.
Yeah, appreciate you, Manny. Thank you so much for the support. I think you are in the chat with us. He says, let me know what moves y'all like making. Good luck in your leagues. Hey, appreciate Thanks, you. Man. Manny Monchos, Muchachos, and you're currently ranked 10th out of
1 and 2.
14-man league here. Okay. Let's have a look at this team here. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Marion, which is good so far. A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Worthy. The list goes on with Tyler Warren. And
running back
Isaiah
depth is rough. Wide receiver depth is rough. Losing Jamar Chase. Well, not losing Jamar Chase, but like losing Burrow would have been really hurtful. So you've had a lot of unlucky situations, I guess is the way to say it.
Untradables here would be honestly just JT and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Looking at the waiver wires and seeing who you can pick up and stash.
I would stash Chris Rodriguez over Kenneth Gainwell.
Chris Rod.
I would stash Malik Washington over Dontavion Wicks. Yeah. I would stash Colson Loveland over Noah Fant for sure. So those are 3 quick changes I would make in a 14-man league. You want to kind of bet on that upside. So those are some quick changes I would probably suggest for this team. You're in a difficult spot right now. Your starting lineup is Jones, Taylor, Hampton, Brown, Chase, Warren, Allen, and now Worthy's going into your lineup. You have no room for error. You have no room for bye weeks and injuries. That's not uncommon with anybody. That's not uncommon with anybody, you know, when it comes to like a 14-team league. Raven's asking if he should start Kyler over Drake May. No, a stack isn't going to influence the way that we start quarterbacks. Yeah, it's not really like a thought for us to go Kyler over May, just to clarify. If we ever have like a difficult decision, we'll talk it through when you guys submit a question, by the way, guys. If it's not a difficult decision, we're going to answer it relatively quickly. Okay, now with this lineup, what are you thinking overall team grade? I think with Chase, his status being hurt.
Yeah, look, it's not as... For me, I would probably say this is maybe like a B minus, B plus. Sorry, B minus, B flat type of team.
Yeah, I think
this is
I'm more like C range for me.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. You think I'm being too harsh or something?
No, I can definitely understand it. I just think there's still upside. I think because maybe we see things differently. Like, Xavier Worthy is going to come back. I think that's going to be helpful. I still like Tyler Warren. You do have a lot of Colts here on this team, so maybe that's something to consider. Quad doesn't currently need surgery. Was he considering surgery
for Terry McLaurin? He's talking about.
Wow.
They were considering it. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to go with, like you said, C plus range. Is that where you were at?
Yes, C plus.
Happy to go there. Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a difference from like that speed minus that I was kind of talking about.
Okay, like we might be on different pages here, Badaki, but I will be looking to shop Xavier Worthy depending on what I can get back.
Yeah.
I don't think a guy goes from...
I'm happy to do that.
I don't think a guy goes from, hey, we might have to have surgery on your shoulder, to, hey, we're going to throw you the ball 8 times and not worried about you being tackled every time you catch the ball. It doesn't compute to me. I'd rather look at a different option because I think there's just a lot of inherent risk. Now, maybe we should ask Jeff Mueller about this. You know, maybe Jeff Mueller's a name that we should... Maybe I can send him a DM now and see what he thinks. He's always been very kind and responsive. But you think Worthy's gonna be a reliable option in fantasy, or where do you lean there?
Look, my initial thought is I think he's going to help him. He won't be the boom. How can I put this in words? He's not going to produce the way we thought he was going to produce, obviously, in the first 6 weeks before Rashee Rice. Now, I think he'll be a good flex option down the road. Like, I think most likely like the Shakiras of the world, right? And that's more like of the boom or bust type of situations. I think his role this year was going to be a little bit more solidified, midway up tier flex, rather than being... All right, he's going to get 30 points or 0 points, you know? I think he's going to be good averaging 8 to 12 points, and I think that's good enough if you got him as a flex in a league like this. But I'm also happy to pivot, though, depending on where we go, right? Like...
Okay, let's look at pivots. I just sent Jeff a message. We'll see if he has any time to reply or not. Jeff's one of the doctors that we rely on the most.
Like, I think it would be Chris Olave...
I would love Olave. I would prefer Olave.
I'm saying, like, my thought process in the production that I'm hoping for Xavier Worthy is Chris Olave's fantasy points, but not targets. He would have like 4 to 5 targets, but chunk yards, right? And that's going to give you those 12-ish points that Olave has kind of been averaging.
Hey, let's reply to Jaden Butts here. What's your username, my friend? And have we sent that out, Badaki? Let's double check on the back end there.
Yeah, it just depends on what your name is. But Jaden Butts, please send me a message on Discord here. I'll put my name here at Badaki on Discord, and then I'll have a look at that right after the live stream.
Yeah.
There's a couple people that have messaged. I wonder if there's been an issue on the back end. Because there's I sent a bunch of playbooks out, and there's been people still saying I haven't gotten it, and it's like, I sent that out ages ago, brother.
Well, some people don't know where to check either, and that might be the problem.
Yeah. So just send me a message on Discord, Jaden Butts, and then I will have a look at it right after the live stream.
Yes.
All right.
So those are some names I would prefer. I mean, Olave, Myers, Allen, Quentin Johnston, Pittman, even like Jameson, I'd rather have because they're kind of the same thing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can pivot off of him, I just would feel better about that. Now, the issue with your team is you really have no margin. The only flexibility with a team like this is trading a Jonathan Taylor, which in a 14-team league isn't the craziest thing that you could ever suggest. So, again, we don't want to do this, but if you can tear down from Jonathan Taylor, and essentially you want 2 running backs that are great. So, like, James Cook, Cam Scatterboo is probably not enough, but, like, that's an idea. Like,
Yeah.
James Cook, Cam Scatterboo, and then we make this a 3-for-3, and we also get you, let's say, Deebo Samuel, and you send Xavier Worthy or something.
Okay.
Maybe that's not enough. Obviously, I would love to tell you Josh Jacobs, but that's probably asking for too much. Obviously, if you can do Josh Jacobs, it's a no-brainer instead of Cam Scatterboo, but again, I think that's asking for too much. But even if you remove the 2-for-3 and make it a 1-for-2, we'd be fine with a deal like that. Okay, let's keep looking. Let's see. Not going to do Kamara. Can't get Gibbs. Can't get CMC. Kyron, Javonte. I don't know. I'm not in love with that. Trying to find another team that would make sense. You can't get Saquon. Henry. Would you do Henry Judkins?
Derrick Henry and Judkins? Yes, I would.
I think I'm fine with that idea.
I would do that.
So, those are probably the main ideas. No one else has a combo that I like. Those are really the main ideas I would say. Obviously, we don't want to tear down from Jonathan Taylor, but if you're in a desperate situation, you can. And if you can move off of Worthy for any of these names, I'm fine for it. So,
yeah. Appreciate you, Manny. Thank you so much for that support here. Okay, I think Death Hammer.
You'll be getting your playbook within, what, 72 hours?
Yeah, 72 hours, sorry. Yes, you'll be getting your playbook within 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. So click on advice, then click on your team review, and then you'll have a message system there that will
show again,
you
the
all
advice
of that
tab,
stuff.
And then this is where we send the graphic, okay? The advice tab, and then you go to your team review, and then there's a message tab right here where you should see your playbook. Awesome. Okay, Dean.
All right.
Or Death Hammer.
Death Hammer says, not sure what to do. 3-0, but barely scrapping by any advice here. Okay. Shout out to Team Butt Plug.
Wow, love it.
That's the team name.
3-0.
Third. Yeah, 3-0.
Barely scraping by. Well. Come on, man. 3-0. I mean, you're killing it.
Yeah, for real.
Well, I can see what he's saying, but yeah.
Okay, at the quarterback position, Baker, Daniel Jones, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown with JCM. Wide receivers, Ted, George Pickens, Quinton, Jerry with Trey Tucker, and Trey McBride and Tucker Kraft there. Untradables is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, no doubt about it, and probably just Jahmyr Gibbs. I guess you can put you can technically put Trey McBride.
I think
if we wanted to.
We could sell one of those names.
Yeah, definitely sell one of those tight ends if we really wanted to. On the waiver wires, guys, you can pick up and stash if you wanted to. I don't see really anyone at the running back position. I guess since you have JCM, you might as well pick up Jeremy and Chris just in case.
Chris probably, yeah. It just looks like he has a very, very short league from bench perspective, so it might be tough.
Yeah, definitely.
But JCM's a stash for now as well.
Yeah, and then Jaden Higgins is somebody maybe you can pick up and stash. But once again, probably going to start giving away or trading away Tucker Kraft maybe or Trey McBride to kind of give you a little bit more depth there. When it comes down to overall team grade, I think this team is good. Now, the RB2 is what's questionable. A lot of that upside is no longer there with Jahmyr and Chase Brown, unfortunately. But I still think this is a good team. I'm just going to give it a B-flat type of team. I like the wide receivers and Quinton and George and Tet. And you have good quarterbacks here as well. Maybe we can send one of these quarterbacks away in you know, we should be selling Daniel Jones or Tucker Kraft and see how we can kind of pivot. That's where I'm at currently.
Yeah. I think in an ideal world, you're sending away Tucker Kraft or Trey McBride to upgrade this roster. So let's find a tight end needy team and let's improve our running back room is really what I'd like to do. So overall team grade, I would lean probably B flat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said, I think. B flat.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. We'll lean B flat. And as far as trade ideas, Kraft and McBride, ideally we want to improve our running back room like we mentioned. Who has a terrible tight end room? The guy who has Njoku and Strange. Could this be a prime time to go get Ashton Genty? Can you send Tucker Kraft for Ashton Genty? That would be
I like that.
ideal. Let's see. You probably can't get Bucky, but if you were to get Bucky, it'd have to be Trey McBride that you would send, which again, I would be fine with. Trying to think about all your options here. Saquon Travion. I would probably be willing to send Kraft for Travion.
I'm okay with that as well.
You know, just to bet on the upside long term with a name like that. Let's see. ETN, if you're going to get ETN, probably have to send McBride, but again, probably worth it with you already having Kraft there. And some of these teams have enough depth as well. Let's see. The guy who has Kelsey has Kamara, Chuba Hubbard. Maybe you can send Kraft for Chuba Hubbard. But you kind of get the idea. Like, that's the kind of deal we want to pursue. Jake Ferguson owner's fine. Kincaid owner's probably happy. Hawkinson owner has revived life. Juwan Johnson owner's fine. Sam Laporta owner's fine. So, I mean, maybe like Cam Scattaboo is the other, you know, like last gasp, if you will, option. But ideally, if you can move one of these tight ends for a running back, I don't think your team's in a bad spot. And of course, I prefer to keep McBride. But if you have to give, let's say, Trey McBride to get the running back that you really love, I'm fine with that as well. But because it's a start 7, you're not really in that bad of a position, honestly.
No, not at all. I think, like I said, this is a good team. I like this team. Just the depth at the running back position, I think, is what we're trying to do here, and I think that's probably going to help you if you kind of get these. You move the double stack positions that you don't really need. The onesie positions that you have double stacked and get depth somewhere else is going to help your team, man. But appreciate you, Deathhammer. I'm sure we're receiving that playbook here within 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. Unimportant, I think is next.
Yes. All right, let's go to unimportant here. Appreciate you, man. He says, hi, lads. Big fan. You did a review for me a couple weeks ago. 12 teams start at 7.5 PPR. I just submitted a trade, Neighbors and Keenan Allen for Daniel Jones, DK Buka. I'm 1-2. Have you cooked it? And who do I start in the super flex spot? Dak and Dart are non-stars this week. Thanks again, boys. I just completed a trade, Neighbors and Keenan Allen. Is he saying, did he cook the trade? I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah, I just completed a trade, Neighbors and Keenan Allen for Daniel Jones, DK, and Mika. So that's trade. So you traded away Malik Neighbors and Keenan Allen for Daniel Jones, DK, and Mika and Buka.
I'm fine with that in a super flex format.
Yeah, super flex is where it's at.
Start 7 super flex though. That's an interesting format. I mean, you have
that means there's no flex.
No flex. It's just a super flex.
Or there's only one running back type of situation.
Well, it looks like he has Malik Neighbors, so maybe he got the Neighbors side of it.
Or maybe the trade hasn't gone through.
Who knows? It's honestly fine because you're getting an elite option. It's just trying to find a elite. Trying to find a starting quarterback is really tough in Superflex League. So I just think that's something we have to consider. Losing Igbook is tough. But Neighbors and Keenan is fine. I mean, this team is pretty good. Let's have a look at it together.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, currently ranked 4th, by the way, out of 12. Keep that in mind. Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Jackson Dart are the running back. Omarion Chase, Mason, JCM, Malik, BTJ, Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman. with Tyler Warren there. I mean, immediate untradables is going to be Malik and Hurts in the Superflex League. Guys you can pick up off the waiver wire to kind of help your team. I see names like, I mean, wow, if you have an IR spot, pick up Joe Mixon. We haven't heard much of Joe so far. The end of week 4, maybe we'll get some more indication of what that's going to look like.
Yeah, maybe.
Another person I would pick up, I guess, is Jawan Johnson. So that's where I'm at. So Joe Mixon.
Jawan Johnson, this makes me think there's no tight end that you have to play. But everyone is rostering a tight end, right? Yeah, so I'm confused by that start 7. No, maybe you have to play tight end. Everyone's got a tight end. But I don't understand how Jawan Johnson's out there then. Pick up Jawan Johnson and sell Tyler Warren if you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. When it comes down to, so Joe Mixon, Jawan Johnson, somebody that you can draw. I'm assuming you already have Brandon Ayuk in your IR. That's why there's no Joe Mixon there. So you can't really drop anyone. So you won't see that on your graphic, but you will see that, like, hey, you can then kind of rotate Joe Mixon or Jawan in some of these situations if need be, right? So keep that in mind. Overall team grade.
It's a good team.
In a super flex league, I think this is a good team. I think this is a B+ type of team. Now you don't have the production from the Brian Thomases of the world, unfortunately, and Chase Brown's upside is no longer there, but the Jordan Masons are stepping up, especially if this is a start 7 in a super flex league. You have enough depth technically if it's as a one running back or one wide receiver type of situation. So that's where I'm at currently.
Yes. So really, really good team. You said B+?
I said B flat, B+. That's kind of the range that I'm at.
I'm more A-, B+, so let's just settle on B+ then. I think in a super flex league, it's really hard to find 3 quarterbacks, 2 that you trust at least. But I understand like the running back room. I think the running back room is actually pretty good.
I think so as well.
With that in mind, B+, very good team. Let's go to the chalkboard. Again, this is all predicated on you picking up Jawan Jennings, but that makes Tyler Warren a sellable name. So I would try and look at an opportunity to package like Warren, Warren and Pittman maybe. It's weird getting rid of both of those guys, but
yeah,
Warren and Pittman, just trying to find a way to package this tight end with a wide receiver to go get an upgrade at wide receiver. And then again, it's all dependent on you picking up Jawan Johnson. You got to get Jawan Johnson, but teams that need tight end, how about the guy who has Fannin and Njoku? Like, could you go get a Rashee Rice and wait on Rashee Rice, for example? That would be awesome. And again, got to get Jawan, but that would be a great option. The guy who has Travis Kelce, could you get an A.J. Brown? I don't know if I want to do that. No, probably don't want to do that. The guy with Kincaid is probably fine, but, I mean, Garrett Wilson would be... Yeah, that's just not worth it, I don't think. Let's keep looking.
Yeah.
Kittle, Ferguson owner's fine. The Zach Ertz owner just doesn't have a wide receiver that's worth upgrading to. But maybe we could change this to running back. So we would want Derrick Henry in this, and we'd send JCM maybe. JCM and Warren.
Yeah, I like that.
And Derrick Henry's a pretty good buy low as well. Okay, so the Zach Ertz owner, the guy who has TJ Hawkinson, probably feels like a sign of life right now. So you probably can't deal with him. But honestly, most of these people are probably not desperate to improve tight end outside of the names that we've mentioned. Yeah, those would be the main ideas. Because outside of that, I mean, the team is really, like, all around a very good team. I guess because it's such a small league, like if it truly is a start 7, and you've got Hurts, Dak, Hampton, Brown, Neighbors, Thomas, Warren, that's already 7, which is what's confusing. So does that make Mason, JCM, Keenan, and Pittman all expendable? And
Yeah,
if the
right.
answer is yes, then could you also look at options of sending like Keenan and Mason and getting a
Yeah.
huge upgrade?
Yeah, I think there's one less spot. We just don't know what position it is, and I think we would, if it's running back, then you don't have the flexibility. But if it's wide receiver, that's probably the route you should go. Well, actually, if it's running back and there's only one spot, then you have the flexibility to change, like sell the JCMs of the world, like
So if
Zach's saying.
you can package Keenan and JCM and go get like a Bucky Irving, you know, Josh Jacobs, just hypothetical names here.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, James Cook, these type of names. I think you'll be in a pretty good spot, especially if it really is a start 7. But I think the team's great.
I think so as well. I think it's a really good team, man. Do what you got to do. Stay in tune. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. And I think if you can get James Cook, that would be nasty.
Yeah, you'll get your team playbook here in the next 72 hours. All right, Bill to the moon, as in Bill Krosky, I think.
Yeah, he says, hey guys, I made some recent trades, Dobbins and Reed for Pickens. Initial thoughts, I don't mind that. I like that. And Flowers and the Porters for T-Mac, Golden, and Kincaid. I'm okay with that as well with T-Mac. And Kincaid, the way he's been going. He says, what do you think I should do going forward? I was thinking of trying to get Rashee Rice, but don't know if being 1 and 2 is the smartest, or trying to get Benson or anything else, I'm assuming. Thank you. No worries. Okay, so your team name is Derrick and my Henry, so you're 9th out of 12 here. Let's have a look at this team.
First off, you probably can't get Rashee Rice being 1 and 2.
No.
Also having Mike Evans injured. I don't think you can really afford to have 2 injured guys or suspended guys on your roster. You're just not I would love to say yes, but you're just not a team that qualifies. Sorry, the Bunda. You can use your voucher, and then just tell us on the back end if it's a 3-way and what that looks like.
Appreciate you.
Ahead,
At the quarterback position, Baker Mayfield and Jackson Dart. Running backs, Derek, Josh Jacobs, JCM. And the list goes on there. Tetaroa, George Pickens, Mike Evans, who's out now with Matthew Golden and Dalton Kincaid. Really no untouchables here. Not guys, all these guys I'm willing to kind of move and see what happens here.
Would you drop Jackson Dart for Ollie Gordon?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Ollie Gordon, I'm happy to drop him. So we can put Jackson Dart. You can even just wait and see what that's going to look like. So I'll put that as a 1 week type of thing. You don't have to do that today. Just
the whole reason Ollie Gordon's enticing is because if an injury happens.
An injury, yeah, exactly. So Ollie Gordon's definitely one. Jaden Higgins, of course, we're gonna want to pick up there, and I don't see anyone else. Orden Gadsden, if you wanted to add him.
These are names to monitor. You probably can't pick up all of them with the limitations. On your roster,
and you'll see this on your graphic here. But once again, these are just giving you options. So when you take this and be like, oh, it's week 6 and these guys are still available, like, oh, I remember them saying this, right?
Consider those stash options for you, right?
Yeah.
But your starting lineup is Baker, Henry, Jacobs, T-Mac, Pickens, Kincaid. Then you're flexing right now probably Golden, which is not a bad lineup, but your depth is really where you're struggling without Mike Evans right now. So that's a big loss for you. Overall team grade, I probably would lean like the C+ range. I'm not in love with this one.
It's a bit rough, I would say.
Dobbins and Reed for Pickens, I'm fine with because Reed is not a usable name. Flowers and Laporta for T-Mac, Golden, and Kincaid, I'm also indifferent on. I do like getting Tetaroa though. But yeah, overall,
it just sucks that Mike went down.
Yeah, Mike going down really hurts your team. With a healthy Mike, you're more like a B flat, but you're not in a bad spot, I wouldn't say. And what is his record again? 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
So that makes your flexibility a little bit more difficult. Honestly, you don't like as a 1 and 2 team, you might need to shop Mike Evans and see what you can get in return.
Yeah, probably.
That's my first thought. Now you can scrape away a win here this week, and if you do, then you can hold on to Mike Evans. Maybe this is more like, hey, next week we start to look at these options. But if you were to do a Mike Evans trade, we're probably looking to package Mike Evans. I don't think you can even package with this team. You probably need to move him straight up for a name that you can start. So let's go running back, wide receiver. So right now, Jordan Mason is equivalent. I'd probably prefer Jordan Mason, Keenan Allen. Just names that you can start right now. That would be better than like a Matthew Golden in your flex. Cam Scattaboo. These are all names that you probably would benefit from having over a Mike Evans right now. Jalen Warren, I would say.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well. Yeah, that feels good. Mike Evans for Jalen Warren.
Would you do Chase Brown or Chris Olave? I think I would.
I think I need to I think for those names I need to know a number, a week of numbers, how many games he's gonna miss. Because if you're telling me I can get Mike Evans and I'm just gonna miss 2 weeks and I'm 1-2, I think I would rather risk it than take Chase Brown and Olave. But we don't know that number. That's the big risk of it. If
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Because I think there could be a chance Mike can potentially only miss 2 weeks, or he goes on IR, which none of that has been said or
it's all
like
a
revealed
guesstimation
so far.
right now.
Yeah, it is.
But I would argue you should definitely look at some of these trades. What you don't want to do is undersell. So like someone comes to you and is like, hey man, I'll give you Xavier Worthy. I'll give you Travis Hunter. I'll give you Keon Coleman or, Alec A. Manor, these names, Aaron Jones. You can't undersell him that way, but if you can get a usable name and just strengthen your flex spot right now, I think that's worth your time. We think Golden's going to improve. I think he's a great buy, but this week, if you could put any of these names over Matthew Golden in your flex, I think your team looks better. Right now, we want to get a win here. We want to go to 2-2. We don't want to go to 1-2, or 1-3.
Yeah.
But those are some actionable steps. Like Badaki said, keep a lookout on the waiver wire for some of those stashes. I don't think your team is in that bad of a position, but obviously, if you can move Evans, it's definitely something that you should be considering.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. You should be receiving that here within 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system, your customized playbook that we drew up here for you today. Think we have time to squeeze in psychedelic before kickoff? What are you thinking?
Physicality, yes. Let's do it.
Physicality? I said psychedelic.
How did you get psychedelic from that? That's crazy.
I have no idea.
All right.
I was already setting up his playbook, and anyways, it doesn't matter.
That's okay.
He says, not sure if I'm overthinking this team. I'm thinking of trading Genty and Mika for a top-tier running back, adding to pair with Judkins. Any ideas would be great. Currently 1-2, also struggling on who I should start this week. Mick Tutty is your team name. He also is in the chat. He says, I just traded Mika for Josh Jacobs. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you're ranked first. So let's have a look. Baker Mayfield, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. And please jump in with any questions that you have here. The running back position, Josh Jacobs, Genty, Judkins, JK, Puka, JSN, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Shakira, with Trey McBride. This is a really
wire, by the way.
That's exactly what I was about to say. This is a really great team, but Jake Ferguson was the #1 guy that I saw on the waiver wires. Maybe you should pick him up. I would drop Stephon Diggs in a 10-man league, start 8, drop Stephon Diggs, pick up Jake Ferguson, who is currently the tight end 1 right now. I know you have Trey McBride. Untradables
would you drop? Yeah, I agree with it. I'm just worried. Like, what about Diggs or Dart? You would keep Dart over Diggs?
Yeah. I don't think it necessarily matters. Yeah, but we can do Jackson Dart for sure.
Yeah.
Drop him, and maybe Stephon can gain his value there.
Ferguson has to be picked up, because if you have Jake Ferguson, you can shop Trey McBride. It gives you a superpower in a way with this team.
Yeah, and I would also say your untradables. I'm going to put Puka and then I'm going to put JSN. I don't think he's worth trading anymore.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 guy right now, and especially in a small league. Those are guys you keep here. I think this team is great. This is an A-flat team, potentially A+. I love Quinshon Judkins. I think I would have been more...
Yeah, this team's great.
I think Jacobs helps you, but but I would have been okay with just having Ashton and Quinchon on this team, to be completely honest with you, as your starting running backs with Puka,
I think he needed
JSN,
like a
and Emeka.
snake on the top of the team, head of the snake,
Sure.
which is Jacobs now, and it's good that you bought him before the Cowboys game as well. But yeah, I think it's pretty equivalent. I prefer Jacobs because of how hard it is to find running backs, but I get what Badaki's saying. But you've got depth all over the place. Can you explain what you mean when you say terrible time for a ad? What do you mean by that? Because can you pick up Jake Ferguson for free on the waiver wire right now? If you can, for the love of God, stop watching this and drop Dart and go pick up Jake Ferguson, because you can go do that. Please go do that right now, at this very second. And with that in mind, we can shop Trey McBride around now. See, Trey McBride plays today, so this is more of a trade that you shop next week. But we can still prepare you for it, because really this is where your margins are. Because Trey McBride's about to play, you're not going to get a trade done for Trey McBride in the next, 5 minutes, whatever it ends up being. But McBride is your piece to move. Like, you package McBride and a Dobbins, that is your superpower if you can do it. You know what I mean? So like McBride and Dobbins, and what we need to do is find tight and needy teams. So let's look. Juwan, fine. The guy who has Kincaid, can you give him McBride and Dobbins? You probably can't get Saquon. Let's keep looking. Hawkinson owner. Can't get Gibbs. That's tough. Laporta owner. You like a Derrick Henry potentially.
Yeah.
Actually, that's more than reasonable. You might be able to get back a Michael Pittman on top of that or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, so let's find these teams that really need tight. Okay, the guy who has Kelsey. This is great. Bucky Irving. Perfect. You go get Bucky Irving, and then all your flexes are full of these running backs that are dominating touches. Even James Cook. Maybe you could get a plus on top of these too. Like, you could probably add like a Trey Tucker or Keon or something at minimum.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I like these trades. These are good, man. You should get one of these. If you get one of these running backs, I think you are a super team.
The guy who has Evan Ingram.
Crazy.
Perfect. Let's go get Justin Jefferson. Let's go buy low on Justin Jefferson. So instead, it's going to be Godwin. It's going to be Godwin and McBride. For Justin Jefferson. Perfect. That's awesome. And then the last team that has Kyle Pitts, they've got Jamar Chase. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
But even if you use McBride, for like a quarterback, though, you've got Baker, who isn't bad. But if you can get a Josh Allen, that guy doesn't need quarterback. Jalen Hurts owner's probably fine. I'm just going back and looking at these teams again. The Lamar Jackson owner, that would be perfect if you could do even like a Trey McBride plus who's the starter right now, like Baker Mayfield for Lamar Jackson plus something small. Lamar Jackson and Jordan Addison or something.
Jordan Addison, yeah.
That would be perfect as well.
I'll be okay with that.
So again, trying to find ways to improve, like Daniels as well. If you could get Daniels and Brian Thomas.
Yep. Those are good. These are all really great.
Yeah, I agree. These are beautiful ideas. And again, you're sending away Mayfield. So those are a lot of great options, but that's the kind of, like, again, because your league is asleep at the wheel with Jake Ferguson on the waiver wire, honestly. And after this week, if Jake Ferguson has another solid week, maybe you can use Jake Ferguson instead of McBride in some of these trades. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I would go. You have a superstar team. You should feel very confident. You should feel very great about this team. And I want to open the floor up to you before we end for any questions that you have. Anything that we didn't answer, please let us know. We'd love to make sure you feel good about the review, my friend.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support. I'll give you the spiel. You should be receiving your playbook. Go to the advice tab, then click on your team review, and then you'll see a message system as you open that up. And that's exactly where you should be seeing your customized playbook that you'll be receiving 24 or 48 to 72 hours. He says Ferg is on the roster, and yeah, that's kind of the mindset I'm up to at the solid running back or flex. I mean, the fact that Jake Ferguson, who is currently, think about this,
the tight
end one is on the waiver wires. It's crazy.
That's wild, truthfully wild. But I appreciate you letting us look at the squad, man. I think we had one more question that was submitted here.
There was a bunch of questions. We have 4 questions that we're probably going to answer quickly and then help you guys out. Found Snow. He says, any other trades I should make? This was the offer. So you're sending away Garrett Wilson and receiving Jordan Mason and Ricky Pearsall. I'm okay with a trade like this, especially if you need the running back help.
He doesn't. He's already got Warren, Brown, and Hubbard.
Okay.
But at the same time, he needs better flexes.
So that helps him technically.
I think that helps him because right now he has to flex like a Higgins, Hunter. So I'm fine with this. I think this is fair value.
Yeah. Uncle Benzo, he says trade. Okay. Brian Thomas, Mason, and Ridley.
Okay, so Brian Thomas, Mason, Ridley, Diggs, and a 7th round pick. 7th round? You guys have 7 rounds in your rookie draft for Laporta, Tyreek, Judkins, and a 4th round pick.
So what is the...
This is Dynasty.
Trade? What was the 3rd trade? So this is his... I thought there was like a 3-way trade that you were trying to say. Is that what you're saying?
He says, I don't know if it takes, but my team is Teta Tots. Is this a different... It's a keeper league? Okay, it's a keeper league, Teta Tots. So it's not Dynasty, it's actually keeper. And
it's a 4-team trade. Right.
And a 4th round pick is actually like a redraft league pick versus a 7th rounder. So it's a keeper league. Now you're going to get Laporta, Tyreek, Judkins, and a 4th. You're sending away Brian Thomas, Mason, Ridley, Diggs, and a 7th. Here's the deal. I love that you're sending away Ridley and Diggs in a keeper league because they're completely useless. I love that you're going from a 7th to a 4th round pick next year. Even this year, I want Judkins over Brian Thomas as a flex. And then the question is Mason or Tyreek and Laporta. I feel like this is enough for me to move on from Brian Thomas.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, you get back Tyreek still. You can play him.
You
get Judkins as a keeper. That could be huge. And you get a big draft improvement next year. I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
I like it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that.
All right,
next one here. C Chords, Bo Nix, Brees, Chase Brown, Jefferson, Rome. Tight end is TJ. I would be starting Waddle and then Jennings if he plays. And if it's not Jennings, then it's Troy Franklin. Or Alec for me.
Yeah.
Last one here. Jalen Hurts, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amarion, Tet, George Pickens, Puka, Cam, Javante. I don't see anything I would change because I don't know who else is available. So
that's a solid lineup, though. Like, if that's your best lineup, that's a really good lineup just inherently. But you haven't given us any other options. So what I would love to do is just let you know, probably best first step here for you is to link your team, whether it's Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. Then when you do a start sit, it'll link your settings automatically. And then what you do is you choose, like, I know I'm locked in on Bo Nix this week for my team, but then, like, go position by position and tell us who you're considering or who you're locked in on. Like, for example, in the flex, I'm considering Marks, JCM, Coleman, and that's going to help us. Hold on. That's going to help us give you the best answer possible. Now, without that information, I'm just going to give you a free start sit voucher to come back and ask the question on a.
I was just going to say it's a start 7. So and there was 8 there.
So is the question Scatterboo or Javante then?
Yeah, or probably one of the wide receivers. So like it's George Pickens, Scatterboo, or Javante. That's the way I'm understanding this, and for me, it would be it will probably be Javonte Williams still.
Yeah, I agree with that, if that's the question. So either way,
Appreciate you, though.
I think that's helpful. All right, guys, we appreciate you big time. As Trey Benson just forced 3 missed tackles and ran for no yards. This is going to be interesting.
I didn't see that at all. You're ahead of me, so that's totally okay.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you guys on the next stream. Nothing but love.